Okay.
Hello, Watcher Crappens. Video people, guess what? We forgot to hit record on the video, so we already started the podcast. But don't worry, you haven't missed much. We talked about Kit from Knight Rider, and now we're complaining about Psy. But we're literally only 30 seconds into the episode. If you want to hear anything that you missed, just listen to the audio part first. But anyway,
For
okay, we're all
real.
back in sync.
And
Yay!
that was my fault. And we were talking 24 minutes, but literally about nothing. But yeah, we were talking about Psy being in the Victim Olympics and trying to compete. So basically, everybody is gathering now for breakfast, and Ubah is talking about how Jessel snores, and Jessel's like, "Ah, babe, Ubah, you're really going to do this right now? You're going to out me for snoring, are you? Oh my God. Talk about trauma, am I right, ladies? Being outed for snoring at breakfast, am I right?
Yeah, and so of course they like Uba plays like a recording, and it's like Jessel really snoring loudly, which is I think actually pretty embarrassing. I mean, it just shouldn't be because snoring is snoring, but like I can imagine being like, I don't know if I'm like this PR, I'm like a fashion PR lady who has women who have like clown dots on their face showing up at my apartment from Vogue. I don't know if I want to. I don't think Anna Wintour would love to like just listen to me snore on national TV.
My friends did this to me on vacation one time because they were like, "Oh my God, don't let Ronnie sleep in here." They're like, "Ronnie, don't fall asleep on the couch because you're gonna snore. We want to stay up." I'm like, "I don't even snore. Shut up." So they taped me, and they just sat there laughing at me for 5 minutes. And honestly, not a cute snore either. I snore with my mouth like wide open and my head like tilted, and then I just make this like. It sounds like you've called the plumber to take out 20 years worth of poop from a drain. It's like someone's
I
strangling Donald Duck.
well, I think the other reason why I got upset at them all like listening to the snoring and laughing at Jessel was also because I had the sneaking suspicion that if someone did this to Erin, she'd be like, I think that's a total violation. Like I'm sleeping. It's a natural thing that the body does. And now you're going to humiliate me in front of all these people. And I'm the cackling hag. Cackling hag.
Cackling hags. So Jessel's like, "Well, it's not like it's a loud, ugly snore." And they're all laughing and laughing. And like, "Oh my God, this is hilarious snoring. Did you hear about the snoring? Oh my God, they're playing a thing about me snoring. Did you hear snoring? That's fucking ridiculous." They have like a good 5 minutes about snoring. And
Yes.
then Jessel's like, "Well, I am a little congested, I guess." And Sai's like, "No, girl, you snore." Jessel doesn't like to admit to anything, but guess what? She snores.
Got her sigh. She's like, Jess is like, I don't snore. That was, oh, you know what it was? You know what it was? Have you ever heard of a noise machine? Sometimes I have a hard time falling asleep if I'm away from Povit. So what I do is I put on industrial cranking sounds. That's all you heard. That's it.
So then Sai's like, "Oh my God, look, guys, there's a boat. Speaking of, we're going to have an amazing boat time today. Do not wear heels, all right? Because we're going to have fun. Wear your hair, wear it real, wear it fake. It's going to get in the water because it's boat day with Sai." So now we get a picking outfits montage. The show really loves its
Is it going to be
outfits.
the Poochie or the La Johnson? Big question. That's it. That was the question. Sai's choosing like, do I want to wear this? It's a Poochie. Do I want to wear La Johnson? So I was like, okay, great, exciting. Choose something.
So everybody gathers and starts wooing at each other because that's
Yeah.
the show. They're like, "Oh my God, you look so good. Oh my God, you look so great. Oh my God, what are you wearing? Oh my God, it's the
Uh,
Johnson and
I'm
Johnson.
like,
Oh my God, what are you wearing?"
oh, I love this
Right.
bikini on you. It looks wonderful. So then they arrive at this boat. There's Nelson. He's the boat captain. And Sai is like, if I'm planning the trip, was anyone not expecting me to get a boat? I mean, when we think of Sai, think of Lux, okay? I'm like, apparently, do I? Because last time I checked in, you were saying, I was negative $498 and I worked at Sears and I was 0.0 dollars and I used to use socks as underwear and I used underwear as also underwear too. It was a weird thing. It was a weird time in my life. I'm like, okay, so what do you want us to think about with you?
Yeah, fix your branding, babe. Because you also spent an episode crying that someone kept giving you so many gifts without paying you for the free gifts that they possibly expected you to put on Instagram. So let's talk about how luxe you are while you're sitting around waiting for free shit to be sent to you in the mail so you have a fucking wardrobe. Give me a break. And she's like, yeah, look at me. Like, look at this boat. Like, I want people, when they look at this boat, to be like, wow, this entire thing is edible. every piece. Just lick a piece. Okay.
To be fair, I ordered a gravy boat, and I actually accidentally got a real boat. So that's why we're here.
So everybody's wooing and wooing and wooing and wooing and wooing and wooing. And then there's some more wooing.
Yes. And Erin is she's like she's making jokes about like at what point do we get to throw anyone in the water? Ha ha. Because earlier Ubah threw Erin in the water as a prank, which I'm shocked did not become a whole thing. But like, I thought Erin would turn it into a whole like, I mean, why would you do that? Like, I'm a mother. But I forgot that like Erin is in the mode of like selling that they're having so much fun together, which means that anything that happens, she has to laugh really hard and hold like a napkin to her eyes. We are real New Yorkers having so much fun right now. So good.
So she's like, yeah, well, yesterday Ubah threw me in the pool, and that like leaves the door open to pranking. So doors open, pranking doors open. So yesterday we see the clip, and Erin's like, and now she's just like avoiding getting thrown in the pool. But it's just a matter of time, Ubah. You started the pranking. Dun dun dun.
Wow. Why does even Erin like? It's just amazing the different things that Erin can suck the joy out of. Pranking, boats, sunshine, the Caribbean.
Let's also suck some fun out of saying woo to each other and have another woo segment where they cheers with orange juice and everyone's like, woo, you look great. Woo, you look beautiful. Woo, we're on a boat. Woo, we're beautiful on a boat. Woo, we're rocking crazy on wacky, crazy edible boat.
And then Brynn is like rolling her R's or something, and she's sort of like across the table, getting up in like, she's sort of like really close to Jenna. She's like, and then she like licks Jenna's finger. She's sort of doing the Brynn. Like, Brynn is doing this whole flirty thing, like, I'm into you, Jenna, as if she didn't like 2 days ago spend a lot of time and energy like shitting on Jenna and getting mad at Jenna for flying business and complaining about double standards about her and Jenna. So yeah, that's the latest on Brynn.
Also, don't love when straight people do this to gay people. I find it annoying. I think
Queer
that
baiting, I believe, is what it's called.
Well, queer baiting is usually when like a straight person will flirt, and this is just how I have known it. So argue with me if it's incorrect, but I've always known that to mean that it's like straight people flirting with a gay person, and then the second a gay person does something back, like, oh my God, Ronnie hit on me. You know what I mean? And then they try and turn it around and like make you look like an idiot or use it against you in some way. But I don't know if you need to take it that far for it to be queer baiting. But to me, that's what it means. But either way, this is just fucking annoying. Like, stop. Like, leave the one queer woman on the show alone and stop.
Queer baiting is a marketing technique for fiction and entertainment in which creators hint at but do not depict same-sex romance or other LGBTQ plus representation. So I think like the version that you are describing is queer baiting, but also it's like queer baiting with a mix of trap. Like it's like queer trapping. I think it's actually queer trapping.
But I think trapping is queer, isn't it? Because that's like a kind of dance.
Well, there's trap music, but there's also but trapping is also that's also slang for like what's it called? Why can't I think of the word? Like trap house.
Yeah.
But
like the old hooker houses or whatever, like back in the day.
Yes.
Someone said Brynn.
Guys, we're so hip. We're so hip. No, it's to sell drugs.
Okay. Well, here's the point. I'm old. Okay, I get it. I accept it. I really don't like when straight people do this to gay people. It bothers me. It's annoying.
Yes.
So she goes over. She's like, "Do it, Jenna. Brr. Do it, Jenna, like this." Brr. And then she like sucks on her finger. She's like, and so I goes, "Oh my God, we're like 5 minutes from cunnilingus over here."
It's really some of the worst television I've seen all year. So then
You guys.
just that one moment. Not the whole show. This is one of the best episodes of the season. Just that moment. Nadir of pop culture.
So later, they're laying out, and Jenna plops
Just a sea
down.
turtle.
And Sai's like, so graceful. Yeah, we see a sea turtle, which is really exciting. And the captain
Really
comes
big
out
on
and he's like,
Bravo.
sea turtle. Look, there's a sea turtle. And Sai's like, okay, let's go in the water so I can flap my big, insane, saggy tits. My teats.
What's your
tits.
trauma, sea turtle? What's your trauma? He's like,
Well, all of my brothers and sisters died before they could even touch the water.
yeah, but were they working at Sears? I don't think so. Get the fuck out of here, sea turtle.
Get better trauma, sea turtle. Learn to logline your trauma, you fucking idiot. All right.
How much money's in your How much money's in your bank account, sea turtle?
Well, according to Bank of the Underseas, I have actually about $12.
Oh yeah, I tried negative $498. Get the fuck out of here, sea turtle.
So some people are going swimming and some people are not going swimming. And Erin's like, you guys aren't going swimming. And Ubah's like, I would rather be around the food. And so Jenna gets in with them, which is surprising, but she wears her full Heather Dubrow scuba outfit to do it.
I love all the parallels between all these different shows. Like, who would have thought 2 shows on at the same time where people wear scuba outfits or wetsuits to go swimming? So, but Jessel,
like, only Jenna Lyons could pull that outfit off. I mean, if I even dared, my uncle would leave me $10 in my bank account and tell me to unpack some fashion boxes. May I have a Kleenex, please? May I?
Oh, my best friend, sweet sister Jenna, I love this wetsuit on you. It's very sleek. It's like a Beaumont thing. It's just like, it's absolutely beautiful and stunning. We're best friends now. It's official.
Sai, just continuing her streak of intelligence on this show.
great interview burns.
She goes, oh my God, Jenna, get that scuba outfit off, girl. Sharks are going to think you're a seal. What do you think that scuba outfits were invented for? The fucking ocean. That's where they go scuba diving. The fuck, lady?
The seals. I mean,
I've officially had it with Sai today. I've had it. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I think
Get a better
the
gay.
sharks.
Get a gay to show up for you. Please. You're killing me.
The sharks have given up on this boat. So Bryn's like,
I think that Jenna looks like a babe. Like full cover, boo. But like, I think it's still sleek and sexy. It's like celery that you can just blow.
So Jessel, Ubah, and Brynn stay on the boat, and Jessel's like, oh, I can't believe you didn't come last night, dear. Dear Brynn, I needed bodyguards because these 2 were coming at me, Erin and Sai. And Brynn's like, oh, so you got in that sandwich? Even fight scenes, I have to talk about like sex scenes because that's my thing. I'm like, I'm really sexy.
I'm gonna be a gift.
Sign in sandwich.
so Jessel's like,
Yes, well, Sai asked me a simple question. Where did you first work when you came to New York? And I said, I'm living with my uncle in his 3-story penthouse in Manhattan. And I got my first internship. And I wasn't making any money. And I got my first job. And I was able to move out. And they were like, how long did you live with your uncle for? How long this? How long that? How much money did you make?
and Ubah's like, yeah, they wanted timelines. It was not good. And so Jessel's like,
They wanted dates. They wanted everything. They wanted receipts, actual physical receipts from ATMs.
And Ubah's like, yeah, and they weren't taking anything she said as truth. So Brynn's like, okay, what do you think they were trying to get at here? And she's like, well, I think Erin thinks I'm lying about the fact that I grew up with nothing. I mean, why would I lie about that? I feel like Erin's like, oh, you come from a wealthy family, and it's just not true. And Ubah's like, yeah, and they just won't believe her no matter what she says. And Ubah is telling us, she's like, what is it in you to question what I'm telling you? You know, she said she had $20. Like, Sai's screaming that she had nothing. All, 20. Okay, so nothing and $20. It's the same. She goes, we're born broke, okay? Everyone who is born fucking broke, okay?
And by the way, this was my favorite Ubah episode because I feel like, She wasn't doing the like I'm so wacky thing. I think now she's like, okay, I'm on day 2 with all these awful people, and I'm cranky, and I'm dropping the wacky thing. I'm gonna start really like I'm gonna start speaking my mind. So she basically is like $0, $20, no difference. So Jessel is like, I don't have to explain my shit to anyone. And also, if I'm explaining my shit to you, don't question me about it. You know, I don't know what they want to hear from me. I'm a super rich Indian princess and I have a fucking elephant and some man-child who comes home smelling like fried chicken and mayonnaise. I don't know. There's just no reason for me to be ashamed of coming from wealth. And if I was wealthier, I would be like, I'm fucking rich, but I'm not.
You know, if I came from wealth, I'd be calling Tom Cruise to see if he wanted to come over and rub my shoulders. But I'm not fucking rich, which is why Pavitt needs to get a better job so our child can get into a school and meet Suri.
We just need our socially inept children to finally get into Montessori school and meet the Tom Cruise clan. We're okay with Scientology. We'll take it.
I don't even care if it's Montessori. Listen, if it's Montessori, we'll sign up. That's really the only reason they need to be educated. So Brynn and Jenna are talking now, and Brynn's like, Jenna, hey Jenna, I'm sucking down pineapple juice for us, Jenna, for later. Because as we've all learned from Real Housewives of New Jersey, pineapple juice makes my wussy wet. It makes it sweet in it.
So Brynn is like, I'm a sucker for good-looking, successful New Yorkers. So Jenna tells us,
well, by the way, don't say that back to her, though. You know what Brynn likes? Really successful, good-looking people. She'll be like, how dare you spread that around? Have you read my LinkedIn? I have worked for BP. Mm-hmm.
She's like, I don't want gifts. Okay, I want connection. But by the way, I'm really only interested in really wealthy people. I like successful New Yorkers. That's what she's saying, successful New Yorkers. So Jenna's basically like, Brynn is incredibly attractive and sexy, and we're on an island. Who knows what might happen? Actually, I do know. I'll probably go to sleep early and answer work emails in the morning.
She's like, but it's not a no, definitely. I like that she's just kind of rolling with it instead of getting annoyed by this, like I am. So Brynn is back at the table, and she's like, watching this, guys. I'm gonna get a ring. I'm gonna flirt with her so much that I get a ring. I can see it now. Brynn Lyons, the wedding invitations, credit card statements, the house.
And then Nelson comes over with cocktails. And then she's flirting with Nelson. She's like,
Thanks, Daddy. Can you just pour it in my mouth a little bit?
I am not a prude, but it's
just try hard.
It's just so try
Try
hard.
hard.
It's
Such
really,
a try hard shtick, and it's so sad.
It's so sticky.
So Ubah's like, just especially with her past couple of weeks of being like, people don't take me seriously on Instagram. How dare you talk about my LinkedIn? It's like, okay. So then Ubah gives her a lime. Basically, they're all doing this flirting bit with her, and Ubah's like, by the way, Jenna, Brynn has something to say to you. Jenna, say it, Brynn. And she goes, maybe I have a little crush. It bottoms up, Jenna.
So then they're talking about how tonight there's gonna be lobster, and so Jess like,
Oh, I'm so excited. Pilot Captain Nelson said it was lobster. And Brynn goes, wait, you think he's like a pilot?
And she's like, well, they're the same thing. They drive things. I don't know. And so, which is, by the way, not a great way to dissuade people that you grew up in privilege when you're like, pilot, captain, worker, doesn't matter. They're all people you pay for to do things for you,
Trust me, when you're a poor person, anyone moving a vehicle is called a pilot. We couldn't afford more words. All right. We couldn't afford a thesaurus. We could never figure out a Wheel of Fortune because my poor family couldn't afford a vowel. It was very difficult to grow up like me.
You should have seen it when I was a child. How many times I tried to get my pilot pens to drive the car. My mommy would say, no, it's a pen. I said, but it's a pilot. It works for us.
So the captain's like, oh, we need somebody to drive the boat. And Jessel's like, I'll drive the boat. And Brynn's like, I don't need to drive the boat, but I'll ride you.
It's like it's coming on like so quickly. This episode, it's like every single line.
Yeah, it is coming on quickly.
It's like quiet, theoretical Brynn.
I just put the try is so hard with this one. Jesus.
It's
So
too much.
Erin's like, Jessel doesn't need to be operating heavy machinery when she doesn't even know the title of the person who operates the heavy machinery. Cackling hags.
Okay, well, Erin, this sick burn would be a lot sicker if you realized it was a boat, not heavy machinery. I'm sorry, heavy machinery is like working in a factory. A boat is a boat.
So Jessel's like, guys, I'm your new captain now. And no one cares. They like don't go watch her or anything. So she's like, how do I tip these bitches off the boat? So then back with Brynn. Brynn's like, guys, she came to me while you guys were in the water. I was like, oh my God, can you take 2 seconds and just keep something to yourself? Like literally, you have to tattletale to Erin of all people the second she gets back. Like you
Yeah.
just stopped fighting with the tattletale. Erin and Brynn are two sides of the same coin. They are the worst. And I get
Yeah.
it's like Housewives and it's supposed to be messy, but Housewives doesn't mean like hearing one thing and immediately going to tattle to start a fight. That's just not what
I guess
it
it's like
is.
there's
That's
like
not,
fun messy and not fun messy, and they're like not fun messy. I can't
it's try
explain it.
hard messy. It's try hard messy. So she's like, you guys, she was in the water. While you guys were in the water, she said that you guys were coming after her. I mean, talk about coming. I could be coming, right, Jenna? I'm going to sit on Jenna's face and I'll be coming too.
Erin's like, we weren't going at her. I said, just tell the truth so that way we can say why your truth is not as impressive as our truth.
I was
And
just
so-
calling her truth a lie. We weren't going at her. I mean,
Yeah. And Brynn's like, well,
She said they were getting very nitty gritty. And
Ubah goes, which is the truth? You guys were doing that. And Erin goes, because I wanted the truth. Have you never seen A Few Good Men starring Tom Cruise, future father of my children's best friends? Yes, I have seen it.
sorry, I was listening in from the captain's wheel, pilot's wheel.
so now Jessel is back, and Ubah's like, okay, well, she told Brynn on you. So it's like, you told Brynn we were going at you? What's up with that? She goes, no, I just said you asked me questions, and I told you the answers, and you guys were dissecting it all. And so I was like, well, you know why? Because the answers weren't simple with you, Jessel, all right? Nothing is ever simple with you. And Jessel's like, okay. And she goes, yeah, like, did you get help? Did you not get help, Jessel? What is it? Oh my God.
Why
Okay.
does it matter?
Why are you so upset about it? A. And B, she gave you answers. You just didn't like them. And C, her answers were, yes, audiobooks. They were audiobook answers. But it's only because you guys sent her into a tap dance because you weren't believing anything that she said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I get it because it does sort of sound like Jessel is trying to kind of be like, and this was my hardship too. And they're like, that honestly, you're trying to make it sound like it was hardship. Just like you got to change your tone on that because like it's insulting to us who went through like real, like very intense hardship. If you're trying to put it at that level, it's upsetting. I get why they're upset, but at the same time, also if you ask someone like, what's your backstory? And they say, well, I moved to New York City, I was living with my uncle, and I was an unpaid intern. I was opening up boxes and it was really unglamorous, and I only had $20 to my name. Don't shit on that. That's a perfectly fine story. That is sharing what, like, you can't claim that you want to learn about someone and then just shit on their story, even if you do feel like tonally they are like they're reaching, you know?
So Jessel's like, listen, I told you I didn't get help. My father didn't help me. Did you not get that part? And so I was like, the math is not mathing, Jessel. All right. I used to have to add 675 plus 675 plus 675 to even understand what I would make in a day at Sears, okay? That is math. And Bryn's laughing, and Ubah jumps in, and she's like, well, to be fair, she did say that. She said that I wouldn't have been able to move to New York if her uncle hadn't helped her. So, I mean, she did say that. And Ubah's like, isn't it funny how these girls don't have an agenda with Jenna? Like, Jenna could say her mother was an alien and these girls would believe it. But Jessel could bring her mom right to them and say, this is my mom. And they'd be like, we need DNA.
It's true. So Erin's like, you don't get what we're trying to say, okay? You constantly say my life was so hard and so hard. And Jessel's like, but I'm not constantly trying to say that. And Erin goes, but you are. She goes, but that's what my reality is. No, it's not. Your life is not hard. You didn't have to grow up doing difficult things like sitting in conference rooms with coloring books while Brad and Gwyneth signed documents. That's hardship.
And she's like, yeah, your life wasn't that hard. She goes, well, I'm not comparing myself, but you are. But you are, because you had a perfectly fine life. And Jessel's like, oh, okay, so you lived my life. Who are these people? Who is Erin to say that? How do you know?
Erin, the
You
most
don't
privileged
know
out of
what-
all of them,
Yes,
is grilling
Erin,
this
who
woman.
literally was handed a company by her father. And, by the way, a completely culturally appropriated name for her company. I don't even remember what it is. Do you? Wasn't it
I think
like...
it's called Trap House.
I don't even remember what the name of it was.
It was called the
but it's
Nelson Mandela Company of Real Estate.
like fucking Erin, trying to decide who gets to have the most trauma. You don't know. Guess what? Rich people also have problems, guys. Okay, they
Yeah.
also have trauma in their lives.
This
Like,
show is
people-
warped up that we're sitting here being like,
It's
rich
fucked
people have it hard
up.
too.
I know, but it's fucked up. Like people from all walks of life have different sorts of traumas. It's
Yeah.
fucking offensive to sit there and tell somebody that they were true privileged to ever have any kind of a feeling, especially another rich person who's trying
Yeah.
to kiss the ass and be cool with somebody who worked at Sears one time. Like I can't.
Yeah, and again, like just know this: your children are going to be like this, and they're going to be their stories will be 10 times worse than anything you hear from Jessel. So Jessel is like,
God.
she's like, Erin goes, well, your life was so incredibly hard when you lived with your rich uncle. And she goes, I lived with my uncle. Did I say he was incredibly rich? I mean, sure, he had a yacht. Sure, he had a country club. But, it wasn't available every single day of the week.
He worked all the time. He was a little tiny man in a suit with stripes and a little monocle, and he would walk around a game board and tell little silver doggies what to do, or stop silver cars from passing go and collecting $200. He worked very, very hard for what he had.
He was a humble man who had merely just a parking lot, but it was free parking for people. He worked his way up, and, he had a railroad that was so decrepit, it was called B&O. It was Body Odor Railways. Can you even believe it?
Listen, he wouldn't have owned Boardwalk. He would have owned Board Drive somewhere if he had the money to. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of fool. And
People think Marvin Gardens is beautiful, but it's just weeds. People don't understand.
I mean, it's not like Marvin Hamlish. Now that's rich. So Jessel's like, do you know what
went
your
directly
name
to
should
jail.
be, Erin? It should be Queen of Assumption because you just assume things about everyone. And Erin goes, a good one. By the way, while Erin says that, which she goes, good one, she's adjusting her dangling solid gold bracelet as they have a fight about who's poor enough to go. She's like messing with
know.
this giant gold chain on it. I mean,
And the sad part is that when Erin goes, good one, I'm like, unfortunately, based on what we've seen this season, that has been the sickest burn we've seen all season. Queen of Assumptions.
none of you are winning in that department this season.
This is not a good burn cast, I have to say.
So Jessel's like, Brynn was lying. Like, what the heck is... you guys are saying I'm lying. Like, what the heck is wrong with you? And Jessel tells us she's about to jump off the boat. And Jenna's like, I don't know why Jessel's story is bothering you so much, Erin? And she goes, because it's just so inauthentic. Oh my God, you just had a fake vow renewal for TV in a completely different season than your wedding date, okay?
Yeah.
And you pretended you'd never heard of WAP so you could get some awkward Karen laughs. Shut
And
up,
none of you guys
Erin,
are friends
okay?
and pretending to be a group of friends. So let's
You
not
are the
talk about
most
inauthentic.
phony fucking person on here. I can't with you. Gatekeeper of pain.
So Jessel, I believe it's Queen of Assumptions. Sorry, Ronnie. So Jessel, tells us what I think is the truest take. She goes, "It seems like Erin is projecting her privilege onto me." Exactly. So Jessel's like, "I'm not going to try to justify my shit onto you guys." And everyone's like, "You don't have to." Well, then why do you care? I mean, did you grow up in a horrible situation? Like, what?
What the hell?
Is this like admissions to get into like trauma Harvard right now? Do you have to get like an 800 on your like
Fucking
SATs?
American Cridle. It's like American Cridle. Like you have to get up there and sob. Like they're auditioning your pain. It's making me nuts. So Jessel's like, you don't know where I came from. And Brynn goes, we don't. And Sai goes, yeah, that's why we ask. We ask. Even when we ask about you all. Well, my parents come from Kenya. And Jessel's like, well, is that not my story? And Sai goes, we want to know about you. Oh, really? So who we are has nothing to do with our history or where we come from?
Exactly.
You should talk about your mom more. Didn't you just have a whole fucking monologue about your mom last week? And what about Jenna's pain? Jenna's pain is all her mother. And what about Brynn's pain? Brynn's pain all comes from her parents. Literally all the trauma queens on this show have based everything on their parents. But now that you've already used it, you're going to say that that's unusable? You don't get to just change the game in the middle of the game that you set up in the first place.
Yeah, and then Jessel's like, why are you lying? And Sai's like, because I can't get the point across. It's the same shit.
Because your point sucks. This is not Traumanopoly, okay? I'm not playing this game with you.
You know what this game is? Sorry. Like, you're sorry, and I'm sorry that I have to watch this. So Brynn is like, or as they say in Toronto, sorry. So Brynn goes, ooh, the Brooklyn came out and then a vein popped out. Like, are we in a boat or are we in the bodega? I was like, this really, I would not, it was just Sai raising her voice briefly. I don't think this was like the quote unquote Brooklyn coming out. So Jess.
She did. No, the Brooklyn was coming out. She's like, nah. Like she got really mad at her. I don't think it's cool to be like, are we in a boat or in a bodega? First of all, are like bodegas places that you go yell at people, because a bodega is literally a grocery store. So not really sure.
Yeah, my bodega was always out of stock, so I don't even want to hear it.
And she's like,
So-
I'm getting out of here. You started this. You fucking started it. Don't act like you can't believe that everybody's mad. You literally got them all fighting.
Yeah, so Jessel's basically like, my parents are my story. And Ubah tells us, she's like, any generation, people share the story of their family, and you are who you came from. And it's shocking that these intelligent women don't see that. And it's annoying and actually quite embarrassing. So yeah, then now Sai's like, I'm done with this conversation because I don't care. I don't care. And then Jessel goes, okay, well, I don't care that you don't care. Great. Ha! Got it. 2 for 2 today. Queen of
Good
Assumption.
one.
And I don't care that you care. Ho-ho!
Good one. So I was like, okay. And Jessel.
Jessel actually does have a good one. Jessel goes, well, because Sai goes, we're totally having a great fine. I'm having a great time on the water. And Jessel goes, me too. I mean, I just drove this fucking not yacht.
All right. So that brings us to the end of part 1. You know what? Welcome to part 2. Here we are.
Hey!
Hey! Hi! Oh, I'm so glad we started part 2. I was just taking Archie for a walk in the middle of the road. And I just parked my car on the median, if anyone minds.
Welcome to part 2 of Watch What Crappens. To get part 1, go listen to it. It's out right now. Okay, so they've just been on this boat doing their boat things and getting in a fight about Jessel's trauma not being enough. I really liked that Jessel was not taking their crap and stood up to them. for all of this because it's officially old now. So now it's later on. Jenna's in a hoodie and she's like pulling it up like Kenny from South Park, and they're talking about Winnie the Pooh characters. And Ubah is saying that she's Tigger and nobody else can be Tigger. And Erin's like, now I know I got thrown in the pool. What does that fucking mean? Did Tigger go around throwing people in pools?
I don't think so. I think that was some Tigger slander right there.
That was
I did not
Tigger
appreciate
slander.
it.
Can we just leave Winnie the Pooh alone? Have you people
Yeah, just-
not attacked enough on this show?
Can we just actually? Well, you know what? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Erin's an Eeyore. Okay, if we're
Erin's
going
an
to
Eeyore,
if
for
we're going
sure.
to Winnie the Pooh, Erin is the biggest. Erin is the biggest Eeyore that Erin is such a big Eeyore that Eeyore is like, I'm an Erin, you know.
But Eeyore wasn't a nag though. Eeyore was just like sad, right?
Do you know I've never seen Winnie the Pooh?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, what else? What do I need to know? I mean, there's a cute little bear who loves honey. Tigger, who apparently throws people into the pool. Eeyore is just like sad, and then it's like greenery.
Winnie the Pooh is also sad. Winnie the Pooh is like kind of melancholic. I guess you could say. Like he's trying to pretend he's happy, but he's not. He like smiles through the tears, and then he like binges on honey, which I get.
And he's named after feces.
But with an H. Well, I guess H could have. I guess there could be an H at the end of Pooh. Guess what, guys? We're moving away from Winnie the Pooh, and so should this show. So, Ubah's like, but you know, with this throwing in the pool thing, I'm the one who's really suffering because now I have to watch my back all day while I wait for you to throw me in the pool. And Erin's like, how do you suffer? You sat on the boat all day, perfectly gorgeous and dry. Ugh. And Ubah goes, because in the back of my oblongata, I'm thinking, when is she throwing me in the pool?
And then Erin's like, I'm one of 5 kids. We love pranking each other. That's why I have such a good sense of humor. Remember how I laughed at obvious jokes in this season? Ha 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 ha! Real New Yorkers.
That's
But
Erin,
that's how we
the
grew
funny
up.
one.
Yeah. We would fuck with each other all the time. I can't wait to get Ubah back. It'll be hilarious.
So now they're getting ready for dinner, and Brynn and Jenna are both coming down in white. And Brynn's like, Jenna, it's our wedding. We're getting married, Jenna, me and you. I'm a lesbian now.
Yeah, and Jenna's like, I would absolutely make Brynn sign a prenup. She's not getting everything.
But I like that Jenna's even nice about that because she goes, I mean, there's no way she's not getting everything. I love that she's like, I'll still give her a lot, just not everything. You know?
So they're all super dressed up. I just want to say that they're all super dressed up. They look beautiful, and they're in their designer outfits. And then I guess we hear this song that you're about to mention.
Let me loco. Let me loco. So they take a van to this restaurant, Ocean Echo, and they all order sex on the beach.
It's home of the Rumsey. I was like, I love that they get all dressed up for this restaurant that's like, home of the Rumsey. Yeah, it's like a tropical cocktail.
And let's see, they just kind of joke about drinking and stuff like that. And then,
they're
drinking
no,
water, right? And
no,
Brynn's like,
it's not just a joke.
I know. I just saw it once I scrolled down.
It's a very hilarious moment, Ronnie.
You're right. Do it, Ben. Take it.
Okay, everyone, just like, okay, get ready. So like Ubah's drinking her water, but she goes down to the water, so she like drinks it like almost off of the table, and then everyone's like laughing at how she drinks the water, and then Brynn is like, she's like, I'm gonna do it also, so Brynn's doing it, and then she's like, there's like a straw, so she has her mouth like around the straw, and then it's like, oh wait, the straw's like a penis, and her mouth is like her mouth on a penis, and she's like, I've had no complaints in the oral area.
And then she starts blowing the straw. And then Jenna's like, oh, I'm sure. And she goes, yeah, even my dentist is like, wow. By the way, fun fact, if you act like you're choking on it, they love it. You don't even have to like really suck it or anything when you give a blowjob. Just like cough, like like you're choking, and they're like, oh my God, they think it's so hot. And by them, I mean every man on the face of the earth.
Okay, well, we just sat down at the table. So she starts to blow her straw, and then like there's a homely couple at the next table just watching, like, what the fuck is going on over here? And Brynn is like,
Who wants to be teacher's pet, Jenna?
Jenna's like, I'm in. I'm picking out rings. This is so cringe. So they order. Erin gets snapper, which is very fitting. I love it. I love when people order according to their personality.
dread snapper. And then Sai does this big overcompensation. Like she does this thing where they're finished ordering, and I'm really excited to hear your perspective on this because she turns to the waitress. She goes,
Thank you so much. You're lovely, by the way. We appreciate you.
I was like, okay, Sai, this is like a little overboard. Okay, we get it. You came from like you came from like nothing, and now you are like very wealthy on like a wealthy trip. But you've been bragging about how you came from nothing. So now you're trying to kind of act like, don't worry, I'm not some privileged rich bitch right now. I appreciate the people who serve us. But it's so over the top that to me it read as very condescending. As a waiter, did people do that to you when you were waiting tables?
Yes, and they're fucking annoying. I hate when people are overly nice to the waiter and they talk to you like you're a child. Like, oh my God, what's your name? What's your name? I want to be sure we can call you by your name. Like, wow, I'm so touched that you would like to know my name. It's RHONY. And I would never do it on purpose. I would never give them my name on purpose because they act like they really want to know your name, which of course they don't. They just want to be able to go, RHONY, from across the restaurant, and you have to turn around and fucking come to them, you know? But yeah, it is pretty condescending. Listen, if you want to show your waiter some love, I'm not saying don't be kind. Kindness is good to show everybody. But really, our language is tips. So if you want to be kind to me, tip me. Okay? And a free tip is not a bad tip.
I mean, I've definitely had waiters and waitresses where I'm like, oh my God, love you. Like, they're like just the best. I mean, chat with them, you banter or whatever. But this just felt so like out of context. Just like,
Yeah, I'm gonna have the branzino, and can I get mashed potatoes because I like to eat, and that's it basically. Oh my God, I love you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
it's like, okay, settle down.
So then Brynn goes on. She's like, okay, guys, let's do this thing where we say the most embarrassing story about ourselves. I'll go first. When I was 12, I got my period. And then I like grabbed a tampon and I laid back on the bed and I was on the twin bed and I was like, like, what do I do? Cause like I'd never like explored myself down there or anything. So I found a hole and then it went swoop and it just went in fine. And then so like I'm walking around and like I'm like, this feels weird. Guys, I put the tampon in my butt. I put it in my butt.
I didn't know there was another hole.
And everyone's like,
At 12? You didn't know there was another hole at 12 besides your butthole?
And you didn't
Are you
feel it?
fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry, I don't believe the story.
Now, why isn't Erin? Because Brynn is
that's
on
the
Erin's
thing.
side now because now they've teamed up. Now, Erin's not going to say, well, that story is obviously, that story is obviously bullshit.
It's a bullshit story. I had that same thought. Like suddenly Erin's quiet on the inauthentic side of things. So Jenna's like, I can't believe that was not insanely painful. Brynn's like,
It wasn't.
and Jess is like, how big is your asshole? It's a pretty significant thing to stick up your butt, my mistake. I mean, it's one thing to put a pilot pen up there, but I mean a tampon. So then Jess is like, okay, I've got an embarrassing story. Okay, so I married Parvit. The end.
His poor children are going to have to live with hearing that over and over again throughout their lives. So they're cracking up, and Brynn's like, well, basically her story was going to a club, and there was like a grotto, and she fell down, and her the top flipped up, so she was flashing everybody, right? And Sai's like, oh my God, that is so stupid. And Brynn's like, yeah, I can see Jessel doing that. And Sai's like, yeah, Jessel is best when she's just being herself. She's just so comfortable telling the story. That's the Jessel we love. I was like, oh, glad you approve of that one, because that one wasn't competing with any of your trauma. It's like she's not competing on the trauma charts with you, so that one's okay. Okay.
Exactly. And it was like a funny story, funny enough, but like Erin was like dying of like Erin was doing another performative laugh thing where she's like ha 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 ha. I have such a good sense of humor. Oh. Wait, there was a grotto. Ha 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 ha. A grotto. Ha 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 ha. We're just crazy funny friends right now. Ha ha.
So then Jenna is like, "Oh my god, my story is like frighteningly similar to yours." So I was at this place, Ubah. Does anybody know well, it's this like really expensive like place where celebrities go, and very wealthy people, super super wealthy. Okay, so I'm there, and at the time I didn't really have that kind of money, and like everyone had these black cards, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't have a black card. So anyway, you have to go down these stairs. Okay, first of all, Jenna's embarrassing story is like
She got
being in this amazing
like
rich ass place. Okay, it's like not embarrassing at all. It's like, which is totally normal to her now, right? So she's like, so then there's all these stairs. So someone like steps on my coat, and so I go falling down the stairs, and I was wearing silk, so I literally like ba-bum, 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 slid head first down the stairs, run into a wall, and guess who picks me up? Ralph Fiennes. I was like, I think his name is Rafe. Is it Rafe? I think it's Rafe. So I'm mortified for Jenna.
Did she say
But I
Ralph?
also, yeah, she said Ralph. Yeah, twice. Wow. So I was embarrassed for Jenna because I was like, oh my God, like you get to go to that restaurant now if it's still there, but you still don't know how to pronounce Rafe, which is humiliating. And
in the middle of your embarrassing story.
in the middle of your, but I also love that her embarrassing story is like based on Rafe Fiennes in this insanely expensive restaurant.
I love that like Jessel's was that she went to like Senior Frogs and fell down a water fountain and like her top came off. And Jenna's like, oh my God. So then Ralph Fiennes picked me up and I had like runs in my stockings because I fell down a few steps. And then I just was like so mortified that I just had to like open up a black card account because I qualified and just like hide amongst all the other American Express owners.
So she goes, and then I saw Ralph Fiennes in a bar in London. I don't think he remembers. That's hilarious. That is just hilarious. So Sai's like, I shit myself before. It was a track meet. I was in high school. I'm waiting for the race to start. And then the gun goes off. And then people are coming around the corner. They take off running. And then like, boom. Yeah, I shit myself. And they crack up.
I have to say that to me was, I think that was actually the winner. I think that Sai deservedly won the embarrassing story contest. And by the way, also, what is wrong? This show is so bonkers this season because she goes, okay, here's my story. I shat on myself before, and it cuts to commercial. I was like, really? You're going to make I shat on myself a cliffhanger for a commercial?
I know. I was half hoping she'd come back and she'd be like, I knew someone who worked at Sears once. It was me. It was me.
So yeah, she shat herself while running a relay race in high
But
school.
I don't think this was the worst one because she didn't really shit herself because they were like, okay, so was it coming down your leg? Or like what happened? And she goes, no, it wasn't that bad. It was just like a shart. I'm like, okay, but that's not really the same. Like, is it?
I don't know. I think
that's just like a little, that's like a wet fart. It's not like if you're not running with poop coming down your leg, I don't think it should count. I know I'm not happy with Sai today.
Wait,
in
I
general,
love that
Sai's
you're
annoying
sighing
me.
Sai right now. I love that
I'm
you're
sighing
sighing
Sai.
Sai.
Listen,
you're
if she's going to
like,
gatekeep everything, I'm going to gatekeep your poop story. That's not a real poop story. I need a better poop story from you, ma'am. More trauma. Logline your poop story. Know what I mean?
emphasis on log. So
Logline your non-log story.
so now Ubah has her story. She's like, oh, I don't know if this is an embarrassing story, but I don't know. But I always think you guys like, I always think that guys want me all the time for some reason. I was at the club and I love dancing and I went to the bathroom.
Yeah, for some reason. I can't imagine why she would think that guys are so into her. It's crazy.
My favorite song was playing, so I pee really fast, and I run out to go dancing, and then this guy's chasing me, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, what? And he goes, you have toilet paper, and I was all the way to the bathroom. I was like, if that's the most embarrassing thing that happened to Ubah, like then yes, she is a supermodel because because I feel like supermodels don't get embarrassed. They just go through life with wonderful, beautiful things happening. And
yeah, I don't think the embarrassing part was the toilet paper part. I think the embarrassing part was that there was a guy who was calling her who wasn't actually attracted to her. She's like, I was humiliated.
He just wanted to point out toilet paper. But everyone's like, but every other story was like, with Jessel's story, everyone was like, ha, 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 ha. And then with Ubah's, they were like, ha, 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 ha. And then Erin's like,
they only get worse.
They only get worse.
Because Erin hasn't gone yet, guys. Always leave it up to Erin to end that party, baby.
Erin, the queen of assumptions and the queen of comedy, goes, all right, the last time I was embarrassed, I was on a flight with my kids, and Elijah would not stop crying. And everyone's like, and?
Did he shot himself? Did he shot himself while he was trying to cry? I mean, what the hell? What the hell?
Did you check your bank account? It was negative $498, and you were trying to buy Wi-Fi, and you had no money, huh?
Did Elijah have to work at Sears? Yes or no?
They're like, okay, thanks.
And they're like, Erin goes, is that bad? And someone's like, I guess it was Jessel. It's like, that's all you have? My kids embarrassed me on a plane. That's every parent. That's not a fun story. Have you been with Pavitt on a plane? He literally walks around trying one of everybody's peanuts and judging them.
I'll tell you what's embarrassing. Having a husband who's going to fly to Myanmar just to get a mozzarella stick.
So, by the way, I wrote down in my note, suddenly it's okay to tell a subpar story.
Yeah.
Because,
well,
like,
at least
all
it
of a
was
sudden,
short.
It's like,
At least
well,
it was
also,
short.
by the way, like, where's the scrutiny there? Like, Erin, you've never been embarrassed beyond that. You've never had something embarrassing happening to you. Why don't you share? There's something embarrassing happened to you. Why aren't you
Erin,
telling us
open
something?
up. We're just trying
Open
to get
up,
you to
be
open
honest.
up.
We just want you to share.
Literally the only person on this show who's never opened up or cried about anything. Never, ever, ever, ever. Unless I forgot about it. What has she ever opened up about? No, literally nothing.
No. She opened up about the fact that her parents had a house in the Hamptons and Abe's parents had a house in the Hamptons. They thought we should get a house in the Hamptons together.
Right. So I'm sure this is often said when Erin comes into a room that's fun and says something, mood killed. That is one of my notes. So then Sai announces tomorrow's events, which also sound boring. And then the waitress comes and they applaud her and stuff. And she's like, you're all so beautiful. And it was like, who's the prettiest? And she goes, everyone's beautiful. And it was like, I'm leaving.
It's just like, there was a clear answer. I'm professionally beautiful. So now they drive back, and Erin's like, oh my God, Jessel, I loved your story. That was so good. And Sai tells Brynn, like,
Ha, did you just fart? Ew.
So they get out and they're walking into the house, but Ubah left her phone in the car. And like the driver's like, Ubah. And Erin's like, I'll take it. Such a dumbass, this Ubah. I'm going to fuck with her. Do not tell her I have the phone. It's going to be great.
So their plan is to go into the hot tub, right? So they go out, they change, they go to the hot tub, and Ubah's like, Erin, please don't throw me in the pool. Don't do it, Erin. I love you, Erin. And she's like, do what? Like, I forgot about it, but now you're reminding me. Like, I prank so hard. So...
Yeah, so it's like a whole bunch of like, if she can get, Ubah's saying like, oh my God, I know we get thrown in the water. Like, it's okay. I'm okay with it. It's just that the anticipation of it's not fun, yada, yada. And so they're sort of like negotiating. Erin's like, we could do it now. Like, do it now. Otherwise, you're going to be like suffering all tomorrow, yada, yada, yada. And then finally, Sai just goes and just shoves Ubah into the water.
Yes. So she throws her in, and then, let's see. So
And Sai,
Erin-
wait, by the way, sick burn time. Sai's like,
Huh, I did it, and I was like, timber. Ha ha.
And it was like, oh my God, I didn't feel my feet. I was like, I'm dying. And Erin goes, you know what? That doesn't count. That's not payback because I didn't push her in. But it's okay because I have another prank going. So morning time, Sai's brushing her teeth, and Brynn wakes up with like a styrofoam to go food thing in her bed. She's like, oh my God, maybe this is why I'm not married. And Jenna's alarm goes off. Why am I writing this all down? You know what? I often ask myself that while I watch this show. Like, seriously. Okay, so now Ubah comes down, and she sees Sai sitting there. And Ubah's like, I'm so pissed. Did you know Erin had my phone and didn't want to give it to me? Did you know I have a family? I have to tell my family I'm okay. And Sai's like, she's pranking you for throwing her in the pool. She goes, But she threw me in the pool. That was done. She goes, no, because I threw you in the pool. So now Ubah's pissed. Before we even get into this whole thing, I don't blame her. You don't just let someone go search for their phone all night. Like,
Exactly.
What kind of
I don't
prank
blame
is
her
that?
either. Well, because here's the thing: if you're gonna do that, like if you're gonna do like the "I got your phone" prank, what you do is like while everyone is still together and everyone's laughing, then you say you nudge it along. You're like, hey guys, I'm gonna send everyone a group. Like, did you everyone see this text? This is crazy. And Ubah's like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And then Ubah's looking, and she's like, where's my phone? And then like let it go for a few minutes, and then you're like, Ubah, I have it, and it's like in front of people, and like there's not enough time for panic to happen. But when we see the footage of this happening, everyone has gone to bed because these are crazy wild ladies who apparently, like, we see them change again in the hot tub, and like 30 minutes later they're all in bed to go to sleep. But like they're all in bed, so like now Ubah is just like, where's my phone, and concerned and nervous and worried, and like Erin's just in her room. So like it's not pranky feeling, it's just like it feels punitive.
Oh my God, Heather Dubrow language. I can't. You cannot bring Heather Dubrow language into this.
I just want to adjudicate this situation. But I'm
yes.
right on this one. I feel like if Erin wants,
I agree.
like if you want to do a phone prank, you don't just kind of just like hold on to the phone until they notice for hours. You just
Or you call her phone, like you call Ubah's phone, but keep hiding it in different places. So Ubah's like going to find it.
You
but then
make
the phone
it
stops
like
ringing. Like you make it a prank. You make it a
and you-
joke. You don't just
and you have to
like
yeah.
go to bed with her phone, because that's when someone starts looking, and then we see her stumbling around in the dark trying to find her phone. It's just like Erin, not funny. It's just not funny. It's
She
stupid.
did not stick that landing. No.
So then there is a group text. So it was like, so I write in the group text and I'm like, who has my phone? And Erin's replying back with all these emojis. And it is the like thinking emoji and all of this. Now, this
I
is
didn't
where
see that.
I kind of see
I saw the
Erin's-
frozen emoji.
Yeah, well, first it's the thinking emoji, and then is the icicle emoji, right? So I see what Erin is saying later, like her. I see kind of her defense here, right? So Sai is telling us, like, I sleep very light. So I come out and I saw her looking for a phone, and I knew Erin had it. So I told Jessel, go upstairs because Erin's got the phone, right? So she technically didn't tell Ubah. She told Jessel. So
Yeah.
Ubah's like, so I go upstairs and Erin has it, and she's like laughing. So who takes someone's phone in another country? And Sai's like, listen, I knew she had your phone. That's why I told you to go up there. She goes, oh, wait, so you knew? She goes, yeah, I told Jessel to go up there. And so now she's like, okay, well, now I'm pissed at Erin and Sai because Sai knew and didn't say. And the first thing that happens is you panic because your credit card's in there, your passwords are in there, your pictures are in there. Like, it's serious, Okay, is she overreacting? Possibly. I don't know. I would be pissed. Here's
I'd be
where
pissed.
it
I would
goes
not.
off the rails.
I might not have been as pissed the next day, but in that moment, I've been like, that was really fucked up or something.
Well, here's why I think it just grows and grows. Because anytime anybody else is pissed on this show, especially, they have to be like, I see where you're coming from. And especially with Erin. Like when Erin's pissed at Brynn, she will not let it go. 10 weeks pass. She won't let anything go until Brynn says, I'm sorry. This is why I'm sorry. This is exactly what I did wrong. They have to like go over the top to explain themselves and apologize to fucking Erin for every single little thing.
Right.
But when it's Erin who does it to somebody else and somebody else is like,
joke.
this pissed me off, Erin's just like, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a sense of humor? And never acknowledges that what she did was wrong or annoying at all. And so
Yeah.
I get why Ubah at this point is completely fucking fed up with this person because she's annoying as fuck and she's a hypocrite.
And she's stuck in a house with her and doesn't like. I would be nuts. So basically, Ubah goes back to bed, and and then so everyone now starts to like. Erin's like lying in bed. And Sai's like, I am the worst singer. Oh, because she comes in going, da, da, da. Huh. I am the worst singer. And Erin goes, oh, I heard Ubah screaming. I'm like, Ubah was not screaming.
Ubah was not
And can we not, like you're actually revealing a little bit about yourself. Like, this is very classic white lady to say this
Very
about, like, a person of
Karen.
color.
Karen
to be like,
coming.
She was screaming. I was like, she was literally speaking in a normal tone and she was annoyed. And that's not the same as screaming.
Yeah, and she also she pulls out a lot of Karenisms
A
during this
lot of
episode.
Karenisms. This like huge. Sorry to like cool Karens, but like she was doing it big time.
Yes. So Sai's like, she's mad at you. She goes, oh, really? She goes, well, I would be mad at you too, honestly. She goes, really? She goes, yeah, because like for you taking my phone, not telling me where it was. And she goes, yeah, but when she realized it, I was going to give it to her, but you didn't. So
Yeah, like you went to
You
bed.
went to
Like
bed.
theoretically, you went into your room. Like theoretically, you could have gone to bed and it could have gone on all night. Like you did not do the punchline part of the joke where everyone was together and was jokey and fun and the tone was right. So then Ubah's like, she says, it's not like we're home where I could just like go to a store. This is another country. And Jessica goes, yes, I know. I mean, this phone, this is everything I have to connect to my kids and my husband. Like, disgusting. Someone throw this in the ocean, please.
Then back to Sai and Erin. Sai's like, she literally checks her phone every 5 minutes. Like, she's got to have a phone. And Erin's like, it was a prank. And back to Jessel. She's like, I've never seen you so upset, Ubah. And she goes, yeah, because this is stupid. She goes, well, did she apologize? And she's like, no, she doesn't even know I'm upset yet. So she explains to us, like, listen, I don't want to upset my family. I travel a lot and I'm single. And then I have all these sisters that are worried about me. And I can't just, like, my phone's died before and it's been a huge problem. Everybody freaks out. And so Ubah's like, well, thank you so much for texting her to find it. Like, I appreciate it. And it makes more sense why we're together in the same room. So thank you for that. So then back to Erin, and Erin's like, first of all, she should be thanking me because she left her phone in the car and I went and got it for her. No, you didn't,
No,
you
you
fucking
didn't.
liar, okay? You are not only boring and tedious, you're also a fucking liar. You did not go back to the car and get it. The guy who drove the car ran out with it and stopped everybody to hand it back to you, and you refused to give it back to her.
And you claimed it, okay? Yes, exactly. Because she needs to calm down. She's so unreasonable. I literally had her phone for 45 minutes. It wasn't that long. And then I was like, wow, you guys really are lame. You guys got back, you changed, you got into the hot tub for all of 20 minutes, and then you went and got into bed. Come on, you're on vacation. You're a Real Housewives cast.
So now, breakfast table. Sai and Erin are now at the breakfast table, and Brynn joins them. And she's like, where are the other hookers? And Sai's like, my knees are bad.
Well, because Bryn's like,
No, wait,
So,
what?
Sai, do you still run?
because like track and everything. And Sai was like,
Nah, my knees are bad. You've been spending a lot of time on your knees? It's a blowjob. It's like oral sex. It's like, you're just spending a lot of time pretending you're choking on someone's dick.
And
So
Sai's
then
like,
Sai's
yeah,
like-
a lot. I've got really a head-on life, huh? And she's like, oh my God, that is so good. Just, yeah, I really stroke my way through like, oh my God, I'm
Doesn't make
so
sense, but
proud
that's
of
fine.
you.
and then Erin's like, it was a smooth ride.
Oh my God. And Sai's like, things got bumpy along the way.
Okay, you've gone too far. Okay.
So Ubah comes down.
We've gone into bumpy private parts territory, and you've taken this too far. Okay.
So Ubah comes down into the kitchen, and Sai's like, good morning. And she just ignores them, doesn't say anything. And Sai's like,
Oh, why are you mad at me? What did I do? And Bryn's like, I'm literally like so scared. Like, I'm like terrified. I'm so scared right now.
what the fuck is this all about? You guys are all scared. Okay, can we, this is some real interesting language here. Like she's ignoring you because she's mad. She didn't come down with a chainsaw.
Well, Ubah goes in and she tells the chef, hello, amor, do you have more hot water? And he goes, for you? Of course we do. And then he looks her up and down. It's like, damn, that guy got into his Ubah. So, yeah. So,
Erin then
Erin
goes, she's like,
it's...
Erin's like, she doesn't even look at me. It actually feels like very mean. It feels really mean. Oh, shut the fuck up.
So then Jessel comes in and because Ubah goes off. So Erin's like, why is Ubah mad? Like she doesn't know. And Jessel's like, what, you don't remember taking her phone then? And she goes, I had it for an hour and then I gave it back at night. Like I thought it was kidding. Like it was a joke. No, you did not give it back. She had to come looking for it after Sai tattled on you. You fucking liar. There you go again with another lie. So Jess is like, well, she did not find that funny. And Bryn's like, I mean, knowing a joke is a joke. I mean, people need to take a comedy class or something. Like, this is what's wrong with the world. Like, stop. Cancel culture, am I right?
Everyone, all of a sudden, everyone needs to take it. Like, okay, people understand jokes, but also people have to make better jokes. So Jessel is like, "What were you ever going to give it back to her last night?" And everyone's like, "Well, I just told you I was." And Jessel's kind of like, Erin's a mom with kids. You should know, like, you don't like fuck with someone's phone. And Erin's
Also,
like, why?
wasn't Brynn just crying last night because someone said, like, kind of jokingly, I do not believe that happened at the sperm donation place or whatever it was, the IVF place. And then she cried and stayed home the whole night because you're so good at taking a joke, Brynn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Erin's like, why are you mad? And Brynn's like,
Yeah, are you representing Ubah?
and Erin's like, yeah, you texted me and I sent an emoji. It was like this. It was like thinking. It was like, huh. And I knew you guys would all understand that was me being like, yeah, I have the phone. Like, what about the emoji touching its chin says, I don't have a phone right now?
Yeah, and then we get a brr. And Jess is like, well, honestly, I didn't know if you had it or not. And Erin's like, well, it was supposed to be a fun joke. Well, I had to sit there, and she was very upset, I'm telling you. And my trauma was seeing her so upset. Does that count? I didn't have any money on me, so technically I had nothing while she was traumatized, which is my trauma. Am I getting closer to your trauma circle now? It's like, no, you still suck with that, okay? And Erin's like, well, why are you so mad? And Bryn's like, yeah, are you representing Ubah? Like, in the case of the missing phone, Ubah versus Erin.
So meanwhile, Jenna's working on her laptop on her bed, and so Brynn comes in with a tray. She's like,
Good morning, wifey.
and she's like, she brought in like a banana wrapped in bacon, French toast, chocolates, hot sauce. It's sort of like a hodgepodge of things. And Jenna's like, huh, well, my first thought was deep excitement that she was actually taking care of me. But then my second thought was, what in the actual hell is this plate? What am I being fed right now?
And Bryn's like, I mean, if all else fails, I can put hot sauce on my boobs. Jenna's like, wow, I'm feeling really good about us right now.
So then
now
everyone's
they're
dressing
getting
up.
ready. Yes, another getting ready. So here we go. Let's all get some clothes on. So Bryn's like, Erin, the rum train is coming. Ethel, are you ready? And Erin's like, hi, Lucy. Okay.
No, this is a big veto for me. Big veto.
Huge.
I'm gonna call up the Lucille Ball Arnaz estate and ask if they can file a motion to gag order this content.
I'm so over this fucking Lucy and Ethel shit on Housewives. It's over. It's done. Stop it. Okay, at least use the Thelma and at least one because they go off the cliff after. You know what I mean? Spoiler alert. But
Yeah. So
Lucy
Erin's
and
like,
Ethel, stop. Laverne and Shirley, don't. You guys, you're a whole new show. You went to all this trouble to make a whole new show. Can we please? What are you going to go freeze your vaginas next? Like, what is next?
so Erin is now making herself the victim in this. She goes, I am very annoyed with Ubah because this is our last day. And Bryn's like, yeah, I want to black out at lunch. So Erin's like, Matt, Erin is now doing the thing where she is like, she can't deal with the fact that she was wrong in this situation. So she's going to start a war of whispers and turn everyone against Ubah.
I'm thinking about it. Like, we're all friends, right? Or is that right? Yeah. Okay. So what if I was someone who really doesn't like being thrown in a pool? I mean, I was fine with it because I'm chill. Yeah, Erin, the chill one.
So chill, as
But,
evidenced by the statement right now.
She took a chance and threw me in the pool. Like, how did she know I wouldn't be totally offended about getting thrown in a pool? You know? Like, the same way, like, how do I know that you're going to get crazy about your iPhone?
So then go up to her and say, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that this was going to be a trigger for you. I really didn't mean it like that. Like, that's all you have to do. It's actually the easiest thing. In fact, it's the thing that everyone does when their prank goes wrong. Like, people have messed up pranks before. People have, like, it's gotten away from them. Everyone has done it.
Oh my
And
God,
what you do in
hello,
those
you're talking
situation-
to me. Who has like said things I think are just being funny that have been so offensive? Like, I totally get it. We've all been in that position. Just acknowledge it. That's all you ever ask from anybody. Why can't you do the same thing?
Yeah, and you know what? There was this girl in college, and on my floor in dorm, and she was like a Brynn type. Every single thing was like, "Hey, your door is really stiff today. What else is stiff?" She was constantly doing it. Like it was exhausting. She's like, "I just fucked my boyfriend all the time." And one day, she came into my room and she threw a Playboy in it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And so it was like funny. So I thought like, okay. I was like Erin. I was like, okay, like turnabout, like here we go, like we're in a prank war. So it was like a Playboy with China, the wrestler, R.I.P., who was in it. So like I opened it to like the centerfold of like China, and I slid it onto her door, like, ha, I'm giving it back to you. And then she wrote like an email to the whole floor that was like, you don't know how offensive this was, da 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 da. And she, by the way, she was right. I mean, like, as a man, like, you're not like that's terrible.
That
like,
was
I just
her Playboy that she sent to.
I know, but like,
no,
I know,
that's
but
not,
like,
she was not right. Yes, it was totally inappropriate. If you put a Playboy on somebody's bed, they have a right to do that back to you. It's not like you just came out of nowhere. Fuck that girl on
you know what?
your
It's
floor.
more like I understand how it doesn't necessarily go. Like it's not like she did to me, and therefore I do it to her, and it's like equal. And like whether it's justified or not, who cares? This happened 23 years ago, and I immediately wrote an email like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. I thought it was like this or that," because I felt terrible. My prank had gone totally awry, and
Well, she
it
also
made her feel a
publicly
certain sort of
fucking
way.
humiliated you. Did she put your name in there? Because I hate this girl now. What is this girl's name?
I don't
I'm
even
going to
remember.
find her on Facebook.
I'm not going to tell you because I'm still Facebook friends with her. I'm still
Oh,
Facebook friends
fuck
with her.
that girl. I hope she
Listen.
listens to that show and hears me say fuck that girl. Fuck you.
Listen. She has enough issues in her life as it is. She doesn't need our
Apparently.
public humiliation. Yeah, exactly. But the
I
point
get it though.
is,
You're saying
the
like
point is,
you wrote an apology because whether or
Because I
not it was
cared-
right
I
or
like
wrong,
her.
right? Like
I like
those
her.
were her feelings, and you were like, okay, I will acknowledge her
exactly.
feelings.
Even though it did feel like it was not necessarily
That could have
it
ruined
felt-
your whole fucking college career. That could have gotten you kicked out of school. What a fucking asshole.
I know. Well,
I hate this girl now, by the way. I'm so mad. I'm full of rage. I'm full of misappropriated rage. So let's go back to this so I can aim it back at Erin where it belongs.
the point is, all Erin has to do is say, "I'm really sorry. I thought I was being funny."
Yes,
that's literally all. But
exactly.
now she feels like this is an assault on her character, and like I could have been offended, but you weren't offended. So it doesn't matter if you could have been because you weren't, and that
And
the
you've
issue is
spent
not
this
about
entire
that.
season being offended, and everybody has had to kowtow to you being offended all fucking season long, even when you're the one poking and trying to get everybody in trouble constantly. So for you especially to be acting like this is complete bullshit. So then we cut to Brynn, and Brynn's like, I mean, someone took your phone for a minute. Chill. Really? The lady who just went off on some blogger reposting a joke about her LinkedIn last week? Oh, yeah, you're real chill, too. You
we
and
go.
fucking Erin are perfect for each other. So
There
she's
we
like,
go.
we're on vacation. I mean, was it funny? Erin should leave the funny to me, but still. So Brynn is saying she doesn't feel the punishment fits the crime. And Erin's like, exactly, lady that I just vilified for 4 weeks in a row for making jokes at my husband.
Yeah, exactly. So Jessel and Ubah are talking. Jessel's like, "Oh, I think that she's shaking in her boots right now, but she's downplaying it." And like she was like, "Why are you trying to be her lawyer?" And I was like, "Anything to not think about Pavitt, quite frankly. You know, things like that."
And Ubah's like, well, maybe I should call her husband to be her lawyer. I was like, what? So, okay, so now they're gathering to go, right?
Yeah.
So Erin's down there, and she's like, wow, Sai, your boobs look really great. And then Ubah comes in, but she's ignoring Erin. She's like, kind of got her back to Erin. And she's
Yeah,
like, okay, where's Jenna? What, is she in her room? Because I heard you brought her breakfast, Brynn. And Brynn's like, yeah, showing her what I'm working with. Brynn Lions.
So then Erin, of course, makes herself even more of the victim in this situation where she's like, right now, I'm intimidated because I can't even believe she says I'm intimidated.
She
goes, "I'm
can't. All the
intimidated
language, all her
because-"
coded language in this is like seriously, really not
It's-
great. And I
it's-
hate being, I don't look, I hate being overly like, oh my God, you can't say anything about anything without it getting ripped to shreds. You know, I'm kind of old like that, where I'm like, okay, we're a little too sensitive, guys, you know, and I get it. But Erin is classic. Anybody who's lived through the past few years in America should know better than this. Like, have we not all fucking learned a lesson by now?
This
like,
is
have we not learned about white fragility and coded language and shit that
and
specifically
white women
Karens do to villainize black women? This is not good, and
This
it
is
gets worse.
and it's 100% happening right here over something stupid. And she's like, right now I'm intimidated, which is like, intimidated about what? And then because Ubah is making it a point to single me out, like not to look my way, I'm a little scared. She's not singling you out. She doesn't want to look at you because she's pissed at you, and she doesn't want to create a scene with you.
But I do have to say, you know, on the Karen Richter scale, I'm impressed that you got intimidated and scared into one sentence. You know? Well done.
Poor Erin. Erin's scared now. She's
Just put a
scared of the
care.
scary black woman.
All you need is a K at the beginning. You're almost all the way there.
So a bunch of these little cars start to arrive to pick them up, to take them to wherever they're going. And Erin, like, steps away to adjust something or whatever. So she steps away, and the cars are arriving. Like, okay, looks like it's time to go. So Ubah's like, oh, we're waiting for Erin. Erin was here. She was just here right a second ago. Like, that's all she says. And Erin is now walking back after her whatever she was doing. And she's like, I hear her saying my name. Stop saying my name when I'm not around. Stop saying my name. Like,
I didn't say your name. And she goes, you said Erin. And she goes, oh, but I was saying Erin was standing here right now, right? And Erin's like, you know what? I don't care what you're saying about me right now. I do not want you to say my name. And so Ubah, like, does come up to her and get in her face. And she goes, well, guess what? And Erin's like, get out of my face. Get out of my face. And she's like, no, I'm not getting out of your face. And she goes, get out of my face. And Ubah just, like, snaps the sunglasses off of her face. And she's like, get these glasses off when you're talking to me, first of all.
And Erin's like, excuse me? Do not grab me, okay? Give me my sunglasses.
Also, she didn't grab you.
She didn't.
Like, so I'm sorry that we have to break this down, but I know it's like a big thing. She did not grab you, ma'am. Okay.
No.
Is it cool that she snapped the sunglasses off of your face? No.
But you're now
That's
going to
probably
cast
not
her
great
as
either.
aggressive, quote
Right.
unquote, aggressive
Yes.
and scary.
And a lot of the
mean
reasons
and
it's not good for
screaming.
Ubah to do that is because people like Erin exist. You know what I mean? You have to be. It just sucks.
So Ubah's like, you took my phone. You had my fucking phone. You had my phone. Why did you have my phone? And everyone's like, get away from me. Ubah, get away from me right now. And Ubah's like, try me. And
So Erin's like speed walking away and like keeps, trying to walk away, and Ubah won't let her. And Erin's like, get away from me. I'm serious. Get away. And Ubah's like, try me. And she goes, no, I'm not going to try you. I just need to get away. And then the next week, it's like, next time on Real Housewives of New York. Woo! Woo!
oh, it's
So
back.
I'm guessing it works out for the most part. But then Jessel and Erin do continue to fight. But this was a pretty significant episode because it shows the downfall of these two, and it's really not good.
Yeah, I think Erin really shows her true colors, and she should be embarrassed for herself. She really should be, because, I mean, like, I don't fault her. I mean, her prank was stupid, and it was executed poorly, but I fault her most for just not being, like chill and like a friend, and just saying, I'm sorry, when she's clearly pissed off her friend. Like, it's just the easiest thing to do, and instead she casts herself as the victim in all of it. No, it doesn't work that way. If your prank goes wrong, you are not the victim. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. Well, it'll be interesting to see. We'll be doing Crappy Hour in a couple of hours, and so it'll be interesting to see what people thought of this episode, what people thought of that. I have not had time yet to run over to Reddit, which I love to go read everybody's comments and see how they're reacting to that. But I was like, wow, give the woman a K. Like, seriously, I think we need to have a special by the way, I know I'm mentioning the crappies a lot this year. It's because they're in the new year. And we need to start thinking about that, Ben, just for personal notes. But I think we should have a special crappy award, just a crappy in the shape of the letter K to give to Erin to put at the beginning of her name. Because I'm mortified that anybody would still be using coded language like that against a black woman on national television. It's pretty gross.
Well,
Do better.
I'm mortified, but I'm not surprised because it's a lot of work that needs to be done.
No, I'm not surprised either, and I just want to remind people that I know sometimes this show's like we're just trying to make you laugh, and we're trying to make each other laugh and have a good time with this show. And sometimes I get too angry with stuff, and I get it, but that is my love language. But I do have to say, when I tell you something, fucking believe me. I've told you since episode 1 what we're dealing with on this show with Erin. And I would just like to take a moment to end this show by saying, told ya! I told ya, motherfuckers. I told ya. We will see you tomorrow with some Below Deck Down Under, and we'll see everybody tonight on Crappy Hour. And thank you for everybody who's on Crappens On Demand watching this on video. We will talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
And guess what? I also didn't press end stream.